Hi, thanks for joining me today. I'm Melanie from Yoga Within. So let's get started. Just take a moment to find your most comfortable position. You may want to start sitting up today if possible. We'll be on our back for a bit as we start the class. Remember to use any of the props that you might need to lift the hips and tilt the pelvis. Just let the hands rest where they're most comfortable on the knees or in the lap. Eyes open or eyes closed, whatever feels best for you. Take a long, deep breath in and a long letting go exhalation. Again, a long, deep breath in and a long letting go exhalation. Just allowing the body to soften, allowing the earth to support you. Just becoming aware of sensations of your connection to the ground supporting you. Try to notice how that feels. Is the weight even? Feel length in the spine. Letting the awareness move to the shoulders. And just noticing how the shoulders feel today. Reconnecting with that place of mindful breath. Just noticing the breath. Not forcing it. Just feeling the ebb and the flow of the breath. Notice your mind. Our mind's job is to think, and it's generally quite good at its job. Just begin to notice your thoughts, allowing them to come and to go, trying to acknowledge the thoughts without any judgment, just accepting them for what they are, and trying to allow the exhalations to carry those thoughts away. Gently breathing in, gently breathing out. Attempting to let go. Breath by breath, softly let the awareness begin to return. And gently begin to allow movement back into your body. You might want to drop the chin down to the chest and let the chin roll gently from side to side across the collarbones. And just increasing the movement according to how your neck feels this morning. Remembering that your practice is a time of self-discovery. Remembering to notice how you're feeling from breath to breath. Trying to let go of expectations. And just finding or trying to find contentment with what is. Then slowly bring the chin back to the center. Lift the gaze up. Take a big deep breath in, stretch the arms out, and exhale, bring a smile to your face. Give yourself a big hug as you start to rock the shoulders forward and back, bringing some circles into the shoulders. And then another big breath in, opening the arms wide and exhaling, wrap the arms the opposite one on top. And again, just discovering, how do my shoulders feel and move today? Remember, changes in the weather really have an effect on our state of mind, but also on our physical body. So try to be kind to yourself. Big breath in, bring the arms up, tighten everything as tight as you can, and a long letting go exhalation. Just bring the legs out, bounce into the knees, rock a bit from side to side, rotating ankles, both directions. Point and flex the feet. Remember, you can sit up on those blocks or blankets to lift the hips and tilt the pelvis. And then rotate wrists, other direction. And then one more time, big deep breath in, tighten everything, bend those knees if you need to, lower the arms if you need to, and exhale. Now find your way onto your back if you're not already there, and you can just simply lie down. If you feel up to some spinal rocks, do some spinal rocks. Remember, if your back or tailbone bother you, it's probably not too beneficial to do the rocks, so just curl down. Once you get down on your mat, just readjust your neck. You may find that you need a little blanket or towel underneath your head. Lift your feet up off the floor and just start rocking a little bit from side to side. Let that movement stop and then make yourself just as tiny as you can, whether it's holding the elbows or holding your feet, or for some of you, even bringing the nose up to the knees, just remembering to let those shoulders soften. And again, you can add a bit of rocking, explore movement. And the head comes down, the feet come down, the arms open to a comfortable position, and just let the knees rock a little bit from side to side, exploring the movement of the feet, so closer together or even wider apart. Try to keep both glutes relatively close to the floor. Bring the knees back to the center, lift the arms, clasp the elbows, and then drop the knees to the right and bring the arms left. Come back to the center, and exhalation takes you the opposite way. And try to repeat that 4 or 5 more times in each direction. Just really allowing the shoulders, the spine, the hips to start warming up a bit. If you can't clasp the elbows, you can always hold forearms or even hook the hands. Try to follow the rhythm of your own breath, because your breath tells you your story. When you finish, pause at the center and then release. Once more, bringing the knees in, hands to knees. As you exhale, draw the thighs into the chest. And as you inhale and the belly expands, thighs move away. Exhale, belly in, natural curve of your neck. Inhale, belly expands, thighs away. So just that gentle pumping, working into the core of the body, massaging into those internal organs. If you need a little bit more release, low back and hips, just let those knees move a little farther apart. Finish with the thighs in at the chest. Keep the right thigh in at the chest, put the left foot on the floor, and interlace your fingers around that right thigh. You can hold the back of the thigh if that's better, especially if you have knee problems. The left foot lifts off the floor. You extend the leg in the air, breathe in, and breathe out as you begin to lower the heel towards the floor. Lifting back up with an inhale, lowering with an exhale,
And try to do 7 if you can. If your back hurts, you can always put the right foot on the floor and do this variation. If you are able to keep thigh in at the chest though, remember everything thigh to chest is part of that wind relieving series that helps massage into our internal organs. And if I tell you to do 7 and it's too many or not enough, you are really in control of this practice. So do the number that's most suitable for you. When you finish with that left leg in the air. Bend the knee and put the left foot on the floor. Open the arms to a T position and rotate the shoulders so the palms are down. And lightly draw the palms towards the shoulders towards the spine. And start bringing some gentle circles into this right hip. Make sure your chin's tipped down slightly. Try to keep the weight even across your low back and through your hips. And then reverse the direction of the circles. Keep the action engaged in the shoulders. Notice your breath. And then pause back at the center. Place that right foot back down on the floor and let the knee drop out to the side. Bring it back up and repeat this 4 or 5 more times. Keep the action in the shoulders, so you're creating shoulder stability. The left glute, the tendency is for it to lift up. Keep the glute on the ground. Don't worry if your knee goes all the way to the floor. Just get some movement into the joint. The next time that right knee drops down, and if you need a block or a blanket or a towel under the knee, put one there. If you can extend that left leg, extend that left leg, and now you're in a reclined tree position. Work with your breathing. So try to not thrust the ribs and hollow out the back. Think drawing the heel to the hip to the ribs, the shoulders to the hips, connecting top and bottom half at the core. Then bend that left knee, put the foot on the floor. Bring the right foot sole to the floor, readjust through the hips and the low back. Lift the right foot off the floor, bring the ankle to the knee, open the knee, and place it down on the ground. Keep the actions going on in the shoulders, and repeat this 4 or 5 times. Don't use your hands, really resist using your hands. Just see what is your range of motion today. When you've done the number of your choice, pause here and lift that left foot up off the floor. This is option 1. Otherwise, put that left foot on the floor and cross at your knees. Then lift the foot up off the floor. Option is to stay here or to tuck that right foot under, coming into this eagle variation. Good, you breathe in here, you breathe out a little pulse, 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 pulse. You bring the feet back to the ground, and on an exhalation, you twist to the left. Your gaze can go to the right, and you're breathing. If you're in the first modification with the ankle on the knee, you still twist to the left. If you're in the eagle variation, you're rolling to the side of the left foot as you twist left. You slowly come back to the center, lift the foot off the floor, rotate so the palms face up and lift the arms off the floor, and do some gentle pulsing each time you exhale The bottom leg draws the top thigh into the chest. Flex your feet. And if you want to add another component on your next exhalation, the torso comes up, the fingers point forward, legs away, head down. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Remember, when you come up on that exhale, squeeze the air out of the lower abdominals, chin tips down, long neck. Try one more if you can. And then finish bringing the legs down, bringing the arms down, rotating the shoulders. Take that right leg over, rock it out. Pause. Lift the right foot off the floor, grab the back of the right thigh, draw the thigh into the chest, point the foot sole up so you're in a happy baby and you can stay here. Or grab the ankle, move the knee towards the armpit, and again, don't let that left glute lift. You can hold the outside of the foot if you like. Take a couple of breaths here, then press the foot up. Lower it down to the floor and rock it out. Bring both thighs up into the chest, make yourself tiny, bring the nose to the knees. Don't be afraid to rock a bit. Don't be afraid to smile. Bring yourself back down, open the arms. Place that right foot on the floor and interlace your fingers around the left shin. Try to interlace the opposite way. You can always hold the back if that's better. Right leg comes off the floor and extends up. If you did 7 of these last time, do 7 this time. Think about when that leg starts to come to the floor. Try to keep the hips even and the natural curve of your spine. So the heel may not come anywhere down to the floor. The shoulders draw lightly down the back. And you listen to the rhythm of your breath. Perhaps making those exhalations a couple of breaths longer than the inhales, bringing you into that place of relaxation response. When you finish with the leg in the air. You bend the knee and place that right foot on the floor. You release the leg, bringing the palms down, drawing palms to shoulders, shoulders to spine, and you bring some circles into this left hip. Try to keep the hips even, so less is more, not these great big where you move in all the body. Try to keep stability in your foundation. Go the other direction if you haven't already. Work with your breathing. Once you've gone both directions, stop at the center, just pause. Place the left foot on the floor and let the left knee drop out. Again, don't lift that right glute up off the floor. Keep it grounded as much as you can. Knee comes up. Roll to the side of the foot, it drops down, just working into the joints. You know, if you find that you need your hands on your hips, just so that you're really aware that you're not overarching, you're not in a back bend position, move your arms where you need to. The next time the knee drops down, let it stop. And if you need something under that left knee, take it there. Extend the right leg out along the mat. Connect top and bottom half right here at the core. So be strong here. Connect with your breath. Use all 10 of your toes. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. Bend the right knee, put the foot on the floor. Bring the left foot sole to the floor and readjust your body. Left foot comes up. Left ankle to right knee. Left knee opens. Foot to the floor. And try to repeat that as many times as you did on the other side, bringing awareness to the difference from side to side. At least there is a big difference for most of us. When you've done what feels like about the same number that you did on the other side, pause with the ankle on the knee, let the knee open and lift the right foot off the floor. Remember, this is your first option, pulsing lightly here. Second option is put that right foot back down and cross at the knee. Lift the right foot off the floor and wrap that left foot behind and lightly pulsing. Chin tips down, using the strength of the arms to create that shoulder stability, squeezing the air out of the lower abdominals each time thigh comes to chest. Then you release that right foot to the ground. You breathe in and you breathe out as you roll to the side of the right foot into the twist. No expectation those knees are going to come anywhere close to the floor. And remember, the first modification is the ankle on the knee. If this is better, dropping the foot down. Choose the variation that truly will benefit you the most. And again, your head, center, left or right, what benefits you. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. Bring yourself back to the center. Lift the foot off the floor. Lift the arms off the floor. Shoulders are on the ground. Exhaling as you pulse lightly in, flexing the feet. And add the second variation, if you like. As the thighs come in, the torso comes up, the chin drops down. Remember, when you bring yourself back, have the natural curve of your spine, not overarching. Really pay attention to the breath, finding strength and ease in the body. When you've done the number that you're going to do, lower the arms back down, lower the foot down, uncross the left leg, take a moment, rock it out, readjust your foundation, lift the left foot off the floor, wrap your left arm around the back of the thigh, you can stay there, or lift the foot towards the ceiling, you can still hold the back of the thigh, or you can hold the ankle, start drawing the knee towards the armpit without lifting that right glute up. Keep it grounded. And you may even find that you want to hold the outside of the foot. Release, stretch that left leg up in the air. Lift the right foot, stretch the right leg and stay here. Or you may find that you want to open the legs, bend the knees, and come into a happy baby variation, holding the backs of the thighs, the ankles, or the feet. And try not to strive to hold the feet. Do what really benefits you, because if your happy baby looks like an unhappy baby, there's not a lot of benefit there. And then release to come up, either roll over to the side, press yourself up, or again, if the spinal rocks would feel good, do a few of these spinal rocks, moving up to a seated position. Once you get to a seated position, see if you can remember how you were sitting the last time. If you were sitting cross-legged, try to have the other leg on top, if at all possible. And if straight legs is better for you here, come to straight legs. Bring your palms together at heart center. This is a breathing exercise. I know Gerda calls it the mountain breath, so we'll call it the mountain breath. As you inhale, you begin to lift the arms, moving the fingertips apart, moving the palms apart, pressing into the fingertips, and looking up, dropping the shoulders. As you exhale, you begin to lower the arms, bringing the palms back together. Inhale,
Arms lift. Palms move apart, pressing into the fingertips, opening the shoulders, roll the eyeballs up. Exhale, lowering the arms, lowering the gaze. Thumb rests on sternum. Repeat this 3 more times if you can. Just reconnecting to your breath, reconnecting to yourself. Not forcing the breath, knowing if you mix the breath up, it's fine. A moving, breathing meditation, bringing ourselves back to the here and now, the present moment. When you finish, and don't rush, if you're not finished, just continue on. When you do finish, finish with the palms at heart center, dropping the head to your own heart in gratitude to yourself. Lifting the gaze up, releasing the hands, stretching the legs out, and bouncing the knees, rocking it out. Really give yourself a good rock. It's good. Wiggle yourself out a bit, perhaps starting with the knees bent, tipping the torso towards the thighs, being happy if this is your forward fold, or knowing that you do have the ability to move into the forward fold that would feel best for you today. Remember where your arms are, where your hands are, have a relationship to your shoulders. Use your feet. Bring yourself back to a seated position, rolling those shoulders a few times back and a few times forward. Keeping the left leg straight and bending the right knee. And letting that right knee drop down. So again, if you need some padding under the knee, feel free to use it. And again, take yourself into a forward fold. So you may start with that left leg bent. And you may go forward. You may find that you are able to hold the foot. Use your breathing. And then bring yourself back up to a seated position. Bring that right foot sole to the floor. Your option is to repeat that a second time or cross the right foot over the left and draw the knee down towards the other knee. Stay here or slowly start taking the body forward. Pressing out through that left big toe mound, dropping the shoulders, keeping the neck in line with the spine. The tendency is to shift the weight on the glutes. Try to keep the weight as even as you can on both glutes. Connect with your breath. Let those shoulders soften and open. Bring yourself back up. So the option here is to repeat the first variation, repeat this variation, or take this left leg, bend it back, and bring the body forward here. You can put one hand on top of the other and just go to where you feel the most comfortable. So in yoga, there is discomfort. There is a fine line between discomfort and pain. Try not to hold and breathe into the pain. Sometimes there is discomfort to create change, as we're all finding out now. Slowly bring yourself back up. Extend that left leg. Bring the right foot to the floor. Stretch it out. Rock it out. Go into the forward fold that feels best for you, whatever that is. And then bring yourself up. Right leg is straight, left knee bends. So pause here. Drop that left knee out. Use the prop if you need it. Center the hips, take the body forward.
Don't be afraid to create a little bit of movement in the body. Use that right foot. Keep the neck in line with the spine and keep the rhythm of your breath. One more breath in and one more breath out. Bring yourself all the way back up. Remember, your option is to repeat what you just did or bring that left foot to the floor. Cross the left foot over and drop the left knee down to the right knee. Readjust. You can bend that right knee slightly. Start coming forward. This might be your fold. Some of you may go a little deeper. If your palms are down, is the weight even? If the elbows are down, is the weight even? Notice the breath. Keep the neck in line with the spine. Use your foot like as if you were standing on it. One more breath in and one more breath out. Bringing yourself back up. So repeating option 1, option 2, or bending the right knee, sliding the right foot down, trying to get the weight as even as you can on the glutes. If you put one hand on top of the other last time, put the other hand on top and bring the body forward. Work with the breath. Use your feet. So either flex your feet or point your toes. I know for myself, I get a way deeper stretch through certain areas of my body with my feet flexed. Do what's right for you. Bring yourself back up. Release that right leg. Left foot to the floor. Stretch it out. Go into the forward fold that feels best for you. And bring yourself all the way back up and roll the shoulders back a few times, forwards a few times. Swing your legs behind you. Come onto your hands and knees. You can always have padding under the knees if you need it. Good. Set your foundation. As you exhale, round, so you're drawing your inner thighs towards each other, taking your bottom back towards your heels, bringing yourself back up. As you inhale, lift the tail, lift the sternum, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, tuck the tail, squeeze the air out of the lower abdominals, drop bottom back to heels. Coming up as you inhale, lifting the tail, expanding the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades. So you continue the same option, or as you exhale, tuck the tail, hollow the belly, lift the knees, downward dog. As you inhale, knees to the floor, tops of the feet, chest lifts. Exhale, bottom, tail, downward dog. Inhale, tabletop, belly, chest, shoulders. Last time, either back to child's pose or tuck and round, downward dog. And if you're in downward dog, walk it out a bit. If you're in child's pose, knees together or knees apart, feet together. Remember, don't drop the head down if you're feeling dizzy or if you have blood pressure issues. And then coming back down onto the hands and knees and coming onto your belly, or there will be some of you who like to move through chaturanga to come down. Once you're down on your belly, bring yourself up onto your elbows. So think about your elbows being directly below your shoulders and your wrists in line with your elbows, coming into this, it's called Sphinx Pose. So the palms draw back to the elbows draw towards the hips, and the torso moves through the arms. The chest lifts, the legs are active and approximately hip width apart. You breathe here. Now, if this is enough, don't go any farther. Otherwise, you take the left hand and you bring the left elbow approximately in line with the right elbow, and you move into a gentle twist to the right, keeping both hip bones on the ground and the shoulders drawing apart. You come back to the center, pause in Sphinx, move the torso through the arms and take the compression out of the low back. Now you lift the right elbow, bring it across approximately in line with the left. You draw up and you twist left, pressing into that right hip bone. Keep the weight even on the hips. Keep lifting the chest, keep breathing. Bring it back to the center. Pause in Sphinx. If this is enough, stay here. Otherwise, the hands draw towards the elbows. The elbows lift gently off the floor and the elbows stay bent. Breathing here. Elbows lower back down. Elbows move out. Forehead goes onto the hands. You pause, dropping the heels out. You can stay there or bend the knees and let them rock a bit. The head is actually down. I'm just having mine up so you can hear me talk. The legs come back down to the ground. You place the hands under the shoulders, press up onto your hands and knees, readjust your foundation, and send your hips back towards your heels. Breathing here. Bring yourself back to tabletop. Now you can stay in child's pose if that's better for you. Otherwise, tuck your 10 toes. Send the bottom back to the heels until the knees lift and you enter downward dog from this wider position. Re-explore the position of your feet. Walk that downward dog out. Keep the natural curve of your spine. Pause, even everything out. Lift the heels, bend the knees, bring the gaze towards your hands, and see if you can take as many tiny steps as possible back to or into a forward fold. Now, if a half fold is better for you, go to the half fold. Hold your elbows if you can, and just bring a little bit of swaying into the body, swaying from side to side. Let the movement stop, release the arms, walk the hands slowly up the legs, rolling the shoulders back a few times, forwards a few times, and just going back and forth from the toes to the heels, letting the arms swing. And then find that mountain pose with the outside edges of your feet parallel. Fingers pointing down, make yourself that nice strong mountain check-in with your balance. Now take your left leg and cross it over your right. It's good, pause there. Your hands can be on your hips, or you can interlace the hands, press the palms out and lift the arms. Bending over to the right. Keep your breathing, try to unclench your toes. Bring yourself all the way up, dropping the shoulders and moving the other way. Keep your breath. Try to lift up out of your hips. Back to the center. Release the hands to the hips. Bend that front knee slightly and take the body forward. You can stay in this half fold. You can place your palms on your thighs, or you can go all the way forward. Work with your breath. You can also hold your elbows. Either walk the hands up the legs or extend the arms forward. Come all the way up. Lower the arms down and then take that left foot and just move it a little farther forward. Bend the knee. Come halfway forward. So you're checking out that you're bending from the hip crease. If this is enough, stay there. Put the palm on the thigh. Or if you can, start to send those hips up and back. Bringing yourself to what is a comfortable forward fold for you, keeping the weight even on both feet. Either walk the hands up the legs or extend the arms forward. Bring yourself all the way up. Lower the arms down and find that mountain pose again. Rotating shoulders, rocking back and forth. Set the foundation, which is the feet. Bring that right foot forward and across, and then rise up from the arches of the feet. Hands to hips or interlace your fingers. Opposite way, remember? Press the palms down and up. Rise up, shoulders drop, bending left. Resist thrusting the hips up. Really rise. Back up. Over to the other side. Breathing. Breathing. All the way up. Release the hands to the hips. Soften the front knee. Bend halfway. Pause there. Put the palm on the thigh if you like. Or continue forward. Breathing. Breathing. Neck has its natural curve. Weight even on the feet. Either walk the hands up the legs or bring yourself up with the ears between the arms. Lower the hands back to the hip. That right foot moves slightly forward. Soften the knees, square the hips, bend from the hip creases. Go halfway or continue all the way. If you were holding your elbows, hold them the opposite way. Send those hips up and back, natural curve of your neck. And then either walk the hands up the legs or come up with the ears between the arms, lowering the hands back to mountain pose, going back and forth from the toes to the heels. Find your way back up to the front of the mat. Hands on hips or both arms up. Reach tall, bending to the left. Coming all the way up, let the shoulders soften. Moving the other way. All the way up. Add a gentle back bend. Keep the hands on the hips if that's better for you. Come all the way back up. Fold the body all the way forward or halfway forward. Work with your breathing. Go onto your hands and knees to tabletop or step back to downward dog. Walk that dog out. Bring yourself onto your hands and knees. And then move your right foot forward between your hands. Coming into this lunge position, breathing. Squaring up the hips. Find the natural curve of the spine, front hip back, back thigh forward. Bringing yourself back down either to tabletop or downward dog, walking it out. Finding your way to a half or a full fold. Work with your breath. Walk your hands up the legs or take the arms out to the side, coming up. Arms come down. Inhale. Bending to the side, doesn't matter which way. All the way up, release the shoulders, bend the other way. All the way up. Add the back bend. Remember, lift up out of the low back. Don't let the head hang past the arms. Keep the natural curve of the neck. Strong legs bring you up to a half or a full fold. Breathing. Stepping back to downward dog or onto your hands and knees into tabletop and walk it out. Coming onto your hands and knees, moving the left foot forward, coming up into the lunge, staying hands on hips, arms forward, or you can bring the arms up if you like. Remember that action of front hip back, back thigh forward, keeping the breath, using both feet. Body folds, tuck the toes, go to tabletop or downward dog and walk it out. Now this time, come onto your hands and knees to tabletop and slide your right knee forward and drop down so that the heel is about center of the back of the thigh. Slide the heel out just slightly. You may find that you do need a prop under the glute, and you may not. So we're not coming into this full pigeon pose that many of you are used to. The heel is in. So from the front view, it looks like more like this. Breathe. Sorry about all the movement. Now you slowly start to bring yourself forward, and that's forward for what is forward for you. Keep the neck in line with the spine. And like we did in the Sphinx pose, you bring that left elbow, but now to the outside of the right knee. And the right elbow can also come to the floor, as though you had a block between your two elbows, squeezing lightly into the block, but moving the shoulders apart. Those back toes, if you like, can tuck under or top a foot on the floor. You lift the elbows, bring yourself back to the center, pause. Tuck the back toes, go onto your hands and knees, and send the bottom back to the heel. You bring yourself back up, slide the left knee forward, scooch the right back, reposition the body. Remember, think about the knee not being out wide, kind of moving forward in line with your navel. You pause here, so it's front hip or right hip forward, left hip back, knees in, body comes forward, and then you slowly start to twist left. Perhaps bringing the elbow to the knee, lightly pressing into the knee, shoulders draw apart, moving into the twist to the left. Keep everything on the ground active. It is your foundation. One more breath in, one more breath out. Find your way back to the center and just take that pause. Tuck the back toes under. Now you can go child's pose, or you can go directly into downward dog. What would give you the best release from this? Bring yourself back down onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, walk your hands back to your knees. If you can't move through a squat, sit down however you like. Stretch the legs out, readjust. So you might need to walk the glutes back a step or two and take the body forward. If it's a day where you can straighten the legs a bit more, straighten the legs a bit more. Let the shoulders move out of your ears. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Bring yourself all the way up. Roll those shoulders back a few times. Forward a few times. Scoot your way up to the front of the mat. And then you can either curl down, or again, if you enjoy those spinal rocks, do a few of the spinal rocks. Once you get all the way down on your back, just take a moment, reposition the neck, decide if you need something under your head. Bring your knees up into your chest, rock it out a bit. And then bring your hands to your shins, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, just bring your knees and feet apart. Breathing in, bringing them back together. Breathing out, the belly draws down towards the ground, just releasing into that low back. Following the rhythm of your breath. The next time the knees and feet are together, let the movement pause. Bring your arms to the ground, palms up or down or goalpost arms, what's best for you. If your back's bothering you at all, you may want your feet on the floor. And on your next exhalation, drop your knees to the right. You may find that you want to bring that right hand up and just give yourself a little bit of an anchor as you twist left. Use your breathing. Taking one more breath in and one more breath out. Coming back to the center, last time to the other side. And again, deciding where is it best to have your head turned? How is it best to have that back arm? You can always have the hand rest on the side of the rib cage. What allows your upper back through the armpit area to open? Come back to the center. Make yourself as tiny as you can. Maybe it's just this curled up little ball position. Maybe it's happy baby. Take a breath in and a breath out. Then release everything down to your mat. Stretch the legs out if your back's not bothering you. Tighten everything as tight as you can. A long, loud, letting go exhalation. Repeat that at least once more. And then find your most comfortable position to move into Shavasana. You can bend the knees, you can use bolsters under your knees, you can do legs up the wall. But this is your time just to let the practice move through the body, to feel the benefits of the pranayama, the breath work you've been doing, and to reconnect with you. Knowing that everything you need is right there inside you. Just learning to trust that inner voice we all have. Allowing the warmth of relaxation to flow through the body and across the mind. Visualizing that soft white light of peace that shines brightly all around you. And brightly right there at heart center. Let your mind rest within your heart. Breathing in and out. Trying to let go. Slowly and gently finding your way back. Allowing movement to re-enter the body the way it needs to for you. Just pausing for a breath or two as you transition back to your day. Perhaps you need to roll over onto one side. Gently find your way back to a comfortable seated position. Take a moment to gather up all the positive thoughts and energy you can, and bring those thoughts and the energy into your heart, allowing the exhalations to release all that you don't need to hold on to. Take a moment in gratitude to yourself. Thank you for sharing your time and your practice with me today. Namaste. Have a great day. Remember, drink lots of water. See you next time.